I think what's important for this stock is basically to look forward. And as part of the release, Tesla commented that June was the highest month of production ever in the company history. Now, from what we're able to see, the wait times to get a car are not getting shorter. You still have to wait several months, in some cases well into 2023, to get your vehicles in most geographies where Tesla operates. So success in EVs is going to be about the ability to supply. And Tesla has demonstrated both last year when the whole industry was losing a lot of volume because of semis, and this year through some of the shutdowns, that they're the ones that are actually able to keep producing.
In this video, an analyst says Tesla stock is worth $1,125 per share, representing 50% upside from where we are today. So let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment theme merch in the merch store, so check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support.
Tesla shares in focus as the EV maker slightly missed estimates for second quarter deliveries. Let's talk more about this with Deutsche Bank lead auto and auto technology analyst Emmanuel Rosner.
So before we get any further, I just want to point out how much can happen in just a few days. When this went to air on Tuesday, Tesla stock in the $650 range, closing the week over $750, up over $100 in just a few days. Volatility is par for the course when it comes to Tesla stock. This piece going to air $650-ish range, up over 15% in the following 4 days. However, for a little bit of additional context, year to date Tesla stock down almost 40%. What a head scratcher. And over the last 1 year, up less than 10%. This, in my opinion, is one of the many examples, in fact, one of the unlimited examples of the stock market making zero sense. We've seen Tesla's stunning execution over the past 12 months, their leadership, their lead accelerating, their profitability, the fact that they have so much pricing power to keep jacking prices up and they still have ridiculous wait times. Yet the stock market freaking out, the macroeconomic environment, the war in Ukraine, people concerned about rates going up, inflation, recession fears, things that have nothing to do with Tesla the business or Tesla stock, Elon Musk's sale of Tesla stock for tax purposes, plus the potential acquisition of Twitter. Honestly, an absolute head scratcher. Don't get me wrong, I'm still buying Tesla stock with every spare cent and then some, so I'm happy about this. But I just want to point out, over the past 12 months, the 52-week low for Tesla stock, $620.46. The 52-week high is literally double this amount. Yet, in May, a couple of months ago, Tesla stock basically at its 12-month low, half price. Same thing in mid-June, Tesla stock almost half price. And we're still close to half price. We can literally see visually when the shit started hitting the fan, a bunch of things that had nothing to do with Tesla the company, or their execution, or their leadership, or the technological lead, none of that stuff. Pounding Tesla stock. You got one event, Tesla stock getting crushed, then a little bit of a rebound, then another event, on and on and on and on and on. I know I'm repeating myself a trillion times in recent videos, but I can't not say this. In my opinion, Tesla stock, unquestionably, the best risk-adjusted opportunity in the stock market that I am personally aware of. This isn't the first time Tesla stock has run sideways for a long period of time. As I've pointed out previously on this channel, we can see here, Tesla stock, March 2014, around the $50 per share range. Fast forward over 5 years, you could pick up Tesla stock more than half a decade later for $37 per share, give or take around 25% off. For half a decade, Tesla did nothing, and well, we saw what happened after that, didn't we? Of course, that could definitely never happen again. Now, in completely unrelated matters that have nothing at all to do with the wisdom of the crowd, some guy with 3 first names, never trust a guy with 3 first names, on Twitter, asked in a poll, what will Tesla stock do this week? At the time of recording, poll's still running. Over 60% of respondents believe Tesla stock's headed up this week. Now, why would that be? Elon Musk Twitter deal getting shit canned, at least as far as we're aware. That may alleviate some of the overhang on Tesla stock. Of course, it may not. Good news is we'll know the answer to this question in just a few days.
Manuel, always great to get some time with you. So you are out this morning, new note, have a price target of $1,125.
For those playing along at home, this is literally 50% upside from where Tesla stock closed this week. $7.50 to $11.25 per share. And personally, I think this is a very bearish price target. Now, I know at this point in time, it looks like an extremely bullish price target. Upside 50% over the next 12 months. I think most investors would be very happy with that. But here's how I believe things play out. Sometime between now and mid-2023, Tesla stock resumes its course to the moon, and then the Wall Street analysts start chasing and chasing and chasing after after Tesla stock once again. I've seen this over and over and over. I think most of the Wall Street stock analysts have tiny nuts and therefore they're not confident enough, they don't have enough courage to put themselves on the line and say, you know what, I think Tesla's worth $1,600 per share, $1,800 per share. But watch what happens when Tesla stock gets past its all-time highs. Breaks $1,200, then $1,300, then $1,400. Watch what happens to the Tesla stock price targets across the board on Wall Street. In short, I believe that most, in fact, almost every single Wall Street analyst covering Tesla stock at this point in time is reactive in terms of their price targets, not proactive.
Why that optimism after this delivery miss?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me here. So first of all, the deliveries themselves were basically in line with analyst expectations, 255,000 units. That's basically maybe 1 or 2,000 units shy of what analysts were looking for, and that was pretty much predictable because they were shut down. Their Shanghai factory was shut down for most of the quarter because of COVID lockdown. So there was definitely a lot of units of production that didn't happen, a lot of units of deliveries that couldn't happen. I think what's important for this stock is basically to look forward.
What an incredibly controversial idea. You have to look forward when it comes to understanding Tesla and therefore Tesla stock. If only I'd figured that out earlier, I would have been buying Tesla stock back in 2016 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 and 21. But I didn't realize that. So instead, I was buying Ford and General Motors stock at that point in time.
And as part of the release, Tesla commented that June was the highest months of production ever in the company history, which means that they're really lapping some of these, supply chain and, lockdown issues, and that they're really ramping up. And that makes us very optimistic for the second half of the year. In terms of what production could look like. We still think they're on track for 1.4 million units for the full year, which is up 50%.
And I still think Tesla's well and truly on track for well over 1.5 million units for the year. Could be higher than 1.6 depending on how smoothly the ramps in Austin and Berlin go, plus the expansion in Shanghai. But a conservative estimate, in my opinion, 1.5 mil, unless there's asteroid impacts in multiple factories, should be a done deal.
And they've also done an incredible job, pricing up for some of the raw materials pressure. And so we think the margins could actually, look good going forward. So Q2, definitely a challenge, but a predictable one. And I think it looks good going forward.
Okay, and so you kind of started to answer my question there on the unit front, because even as we've started to see them raise prices, to what extent will that impact some of the demand that they're seeing?
That really is one of the most important questions for Tesla and for the industry. Obviously, raw materials pressure has been, relentless. The cost of building EVs has gone up, and Tesla has been incredibly proactive at, raising prices. I think they've done so at least 10 times in the US just last year, and then multiple times again this year. Now, from what we're able to see, the wait times to get a car are not getting shorter. You still have to wait several months, in some cases well into 2023, to get your vehicles in most geographies where Tesla operates. So
have any of you guys and girls done an IQ test? The last time I measured my IQ, it was 1 inch hard. Here's another IQ test. If the following things are true: 1, Tesla's wait times haven't actually decreased across the board. Doesn't matter where you're ordering, on average, their wait times are actually the same or higher than they were, let's say 12, 18 months ago. And at the same time, Tesla has massively increased their production, meaning they can get more vehicles to customers faster. And at the same time, over the last 18 or so months, they've increased prices across the board on their products by 10, 15, 20, 25, 30+%. Is demand for Tesla's vehicles so far outpacing their production, despite their production massively expanding. In addition, had Tesla not massively increased their prices and massively expanded their production capacity, would wait times be even longer than they currently are? If the answer is yes, is Tesla's demand growing significantly faster than their production capacity? Yeah, no, that's a really hard question. I can't figure it out either. I think what I'm saying is Tesla doesn't have any demand and the competition's coming, and you shouldn't own Tesla stock.
There is no sense that so far it's, hurting the order book. There's no question sort of like that. At some point, this is obviously a very legitimate question, just no evidence of it right now.
Emmanuel, have you stress tested your models in trying to figure out what this stock and what Tesla's profits look like in a recession?
This is a very common question I'm asked, especially from new Tesla stock investors. What happens to Tesla in a recession? I've answered this a million times, so for the 1,000,001st time, they'll still sell every vehicle they make. They'll still be doing so extremely profitably, and they'll be gaining share and getting further into their already unassailable lead? There's no such thing as a dumb question, so I get it. If you don't really understand what's going on, you're like, oh, what happens in a recession? People stop buying cars, oh my God. That's the end of Tesla. But if you take the time to look beneath the surface, understand what's going on, the business, their profitability, the fact that they've raised prices, yet their wait times haven't reduced, they've expanded capacity, yet their wait times haven't reduced, Tesla is proactively raising prices ahead of known material cost impacts and so on, it's quite evident, recession or not, Tesla will continue to sell every vehicle they make, so it is completely irrelevant, and I mean completely irrelevant. However, if you're currently in the horse and buggy business, aka Ford, Government Motors, Toyota, and so on, different story.
One thing that's, I think particularly important to note is you essentially have, the world moving towards electric vehicles. So the adoption of electric vehicles is really rising incredibly fast. The ability of the industry to supply is not happening as fast as the demand is growing. This is why the few EVs that are available or even coming to the market have very long order books, sometimes multi-100,000 units and certainly many years of wait time.
This guy gets it.
I think, but what's essentially going to happen is this is going to be about success in EVs is going to be about the ability to supply. And Tesla has demonstrated both last year when the whole industry was losing a lot of volume because of semis, and this year through some of the shutdowns, that they're the ones that are actually able to keep producing. So I think what essentially is going to happen is Tesla will be the ones able to supply the vehicles. Even if overall demand were to come down somehow, this would actually shrink the order book. They still have, many months of forward-looking orders there. So we're really not too worried about the volume trajectory for Tesla, even if you go into what would be considered sort of like a mild recession. I think that they would capture the demand from those that could still afford it in the context of essentially the whole world moving to EVs and just not that many credible alternatives here.
Nailed it. Brilliantly said. I have nothing to add.
Is Tesla still growing sales inside of a recession? I believe the Deutsche Bank team is looking for a mild recession in the first half of next year. In that environment, is Tesla still growing sales? And is that coming more from price or units?
Yeah, so they are. Our view, both for the auto industry and then Tesla specifically, is that you're going to continue to see, auto sales grow. In the case of the broader industry, it is because we're starting from recession level volumes. The SAR right now is at 13 million for the month of June. This is recession level SAR. It's been supply constrained. As supply bottlenecks get alleviated, you're going to see essentially more production and therefore more sales. And so we see pretty good visibility for auto sales going up easily for the next 18 to 24 months, almost regardless of the economic backdrop. In the case of Tesla, it will come really from primarily from units. Essentially, they're still at the beginning of ramping up factories in two regions, in Texas as well as in Berlin. There is tremendous demand for EVs in Europe, which has been so far being served by the China factory. Now there will be, there is, ramping up a factory locally there. This is a whole new, ability to serve this market at a better economics. The Chinese market itself is now rebounding incredibly fast after the COVID, lockdowns. So I think that the whole Shanghai factory will be able to serve it, and the company is in the process of adding more capacity over there. So essentially, it will be driven by units. As you move into 2023, you're also going to see new models. Potentially the Cybertruck. We'll look for an update on this. But this is something that has many hundreds of thousands of units of reservations. People have been waiting for many years. This is all incremental, versus the base demand. So my answer would be yes. We expect, volumes to keep growing both for the industry as well as for Tesla, even in a recession in 2023.
And so much of that growth, to your point, around the Cybertruck is really around them getting that category, that model that has done so well for other auto manufacturers over decades, getting that approach correctly. And I mean, it's estimated at this point that they might even have well over 1 million reservations. And so, how quickly are they going to be able to get some of that backlog solved for? Because it sounds like, based on what we've heard from the company, I mean, this could be a situation where they're not able to fulfill those obligations until 2026, 2027 even.
This is a fantastic question. Credit where it's due here, the anchor. Brilliant question. We all know that Tesla has an absolute shit ton of reservations for Cybertruck. Of course, some of these won't follow through. But spoiler alert, for every one reservation that doesn't follow through, Tesla will ultimately sell many, many, many units of Cybertruck. Once these things hit roads, people see what they can do. Oh shit, I want me a Cybertruck. Next minute, ordered. And this is a great point. It's already 2022. Assuming that Tesla can begin the first deliveries of Cybertruck sometime in 2023, maybe in a best case scenario, 150, maybe 250,000 vehicles delivered in the first full year of Cybertruck deliveries. But there's a million plus reservations. And as I said, once these things hit roads, many more orders come through. By 2024, maybe Tesla's delivered 500,000, 750,000 of these things. By 25, maybe getting close to a million, best case scenario. Probably not until 2026 before Tesla can even clear out that first million or so units of Cybertruck. It's going to be fun to watch this play out.
So as of now, starter production is, latest updates from Tesla is sometime in 2023, so call it sort of middle of the year. Unclear exactly how much capacity they will be, dedicating specifically, to that product line. But assuming that they start with maybe 200 or 300,000 units, a year, which would be sort of like a portion of the Texas factory. Yes, it would certainly take a number of years to just meet the existing backlog of orders. Now, if obviously the orders stick around and they see sort of like good pricing and good reception in the market, they could certainly, ramp up, capacity further, just like they're doing currently in China, potentially ramping this up to 500,000 units or so a year, and therefore being able to address the backlog. But I have no doubt that if someone were to place an order for a Cybertruck today, it would take several years until they could actually get one.
Absolutely nailed it. Now, this is not great if you're ordering a Cybertruck, waiting years to take delivery of a vehicle, big pain in the dick. However, this is excellent if you build Cybertruck. As we talked about repeatedly in this video, Tesla already has insane demand. People are waiting 12 plus months in some regions to take delivery of their vehicles that are already in production. By the time Tesla can ramp Cybertruck volumes up to actually meet innate demand every year, we could be in the tail end of this decade. Tesla has a huge runway of ludicrous demand for every product they already have on market. Then you add Cybertruck in there as well. This is the backlog of all backlogs. It's good to see some folks in the mainstream finance media starting to understand Tesla a little bit more, make some valid points, and ask some reasonable questions. It's also great to see more stock analysts starting to come around to the Tesla story. And just finally, I want to bring things full circle and once again reiterate, Tesla stock today around a $700 or so billion market cap in July 2022. Bruh. This is not going to age well. I'm still buying with every spare cent, but hey, that's just me. And lastly, don't forget you can join Patreon with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment. All Patreon supporters gain access to an archive of well over 100 exclusive Q&A videos, plus the ability to participate in future Q&As, and everyone has instant up-to-date access to my Tesla stock price targets out over the next decade in the bear case, the base case, the bull case, and the hyper bull case. And as great as it is to see some Wall Street analysts with price targets approaching $1,200 per share for Tesla stock over the next 12 months, it's safe to say that my price targets make these look like an absolute fucking joke. Of course, I could be wrong. Time will tell. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.